It was a cold, silent night. The stars were hidden behind dark clouds. In the sky, a strange light appeared. It moved fast like a falling star, but this was not a star. It was something else. Something not from Earth. With a loud sound, the object crashed in the forest near a small city. Trees burned. Smoke rose, but the people in the city did not notice. They were sleeping. The world did not know what had just arrived. From the broken ship, a woman slowly came out. She looked young, maybe 20. Her skin was pale, and her long silver hair moved in the wind. Her eyes glowed faintly in the dark. She wore a torn black suit, glowing with strange lines. She was not human. She was Karen. An alien, a scientist. A traitor to her own kind. Karen fell to the ground. Her hands touched the soil. It felt soft, warm, very different from her planet. She took a deep breath and tried to stand, but her body was weak. She had escaped her people. But now she was alone. Behind her, 3 tall figures appeared. They wore long, dark coats. Their faces were sharp, cold, without emotion. "You should have obeyed," one of them said. Karen did not look back. Her voice was tired but clear. "I will not help you destroy Earth." "You are a shame to your kind," said another. "From now on, you are nothing." Then they left her there. On the edge of the city, in a dirty alley, like trash. The rain started. Soft at first, then stronger. Karen's body shook. Her suit lost its power. She tried to call for help, but her voice was too weak. People walked by on the street. No one looked. No one cared. To them, she was just a homeless woman. She closed her eyes. Maybe this was her end. Maybe she had made a mistake. She saved Earth, but who would save her? But then, footsteps. A man in a brown jacket was walking home from work. His name was Eli. He was tired, cold, and just wanted to go home. But something made him stop. Maybe it was the way she was lying there. Maybe it was her silver hair. Or maybe it was the sadness in her face. He looked around. Nobody else noticed her. He walked closer. "Hey, Dar, are you okay?" No answer. He knelt. Beside her, her skin was ice cold. Her lips were blue. But she was breathing. "You're freezing," he said. He took off his jacket and wrapped it around her. As he touched her hand, a small spark of blue light jumped between them. He pulled his hand back, shocked. "What the—" Her eyes slowly opened. They glowed a soft purple. She looked at him. For a moment, they just stared at each other. Then her lips moved. "Help me." Eli hesitated. "What are you?" She closed her eyes again, too weak to speak. He didn't know what she was. She looked human, but something about her felt different. Strange, dangerous even, but something in his heart told him to help. Years ago, he had lost his younger sister in the same streets. No one had helped her. He never forgave himself. Not again. Eli lifted Karen in his arms. She was lighter than he expected. Her body trembled in the rain. He took her to his small apartment nearby. He laid her gently on his couch. He turned on the heater, gave her a blanket. She didn't wake up, but her breathing got better. He sat on the floor, watching her sleep. His mind raced with questions. Who was she? What was that light? Was she even real? As he stared, the room lights flickered. His phone screen turned on by itself, then shut down. The heater made a strange sound. He looked at her. Who had he brought into his home? And what would happen next? The room was quiet. The only sound was the soft hum of the heater. Eli sat on the floor, watching the strange woman sleep on his couch. She was still wrapped in his jacket. Her silver hair fell across her face. She didn't move. It had been 2 hours since he found her in the alley. Eli didn't understand what he had done. He didn't know who she was or what she was. But something inside him said she wasn't dangerous. Just lost. The clock ticked slowly. Midnight passed. Suddenly the lights flickered again. The heater made a loud buzzing noise. Then everything went silent. The power was gone. Eli stood up, confused. "What now?" he whispered. Then he heard something strange, a soft sound like a heartbeat, but not his. It was coming from her. Her body glowed slightly. Not brightly, but enough to light up the room in a soft blue color. Her skin looked like it had stars under it, moving slowly. Eli's mouth dropped open. "What are you?" The woman opened her eyes. She sat up slowly. Her breathing was still weak. She looked around the room, confused. Her eyes locked onto Eli. She blinked, then spoke in a low, strange voice. "Where am I? My apartment?" Eli said slowly, "You were on the street in the rain. I brought you here." She looked at the blanket, then at his jacket. She touched it gently, like it was something rare. "You helped me," she said. Eli nodded. "You needed help." She stared at him. Her eyes were deep purple now. They glowed softly in the dark. Eli had never seen eyes like that. They looked kind, but also full of pain. "Who are you?" he asked. She looked down. Her voice cracked. "I don't know anymore. What's your name?" "Karen." "That's not a normal name." Not normal." Eli sat down across from her. "I figured that out already." For a few seconds, neither of them spoke. Karen looked weak, like she had not eaten or slept in days. Her body leaned forward and Eli rushed to catch her. He helped her sit back up. "You shouldn't move," he said. She looked at his face carefully. "Why did you help me?" Eli thought for a moment. Then he spoke quietly. "Years ago I lost someone. My sister. She was on the streets too. No one helped her, and I wasn't there in time." Karen closed her eyes. "I'm sorry." "You reminded me of her," Eli said. "I couldn't walk away this time." She nodded slowly, then suddenly her hands began to glow brighter. Sparks ran through her fingers. The couch made a soft buzzing sound. Eli stepped back. "Whoa, what's happening?" Karen looked at her hands. "It's not under control. I need rest. My body, it's changing." "Are you sick?" "No, my energy. It's broken," I crashed. Eli frowned. "What do you mean you crashed?" She looked him in the eye. "I'm not from your world." Eli didn't speak. He didn't laugh either. A small part of him had already guessed this. "I came from a place far away," she continued. "A place where the stars are red and the sky is silver. My people, they sent me here. But not to help. What did they want?" "To destroy Earth." Eli stared at her. "And you?" I refused. "I tried to stop them, so they threw me out, left me to die." She looked down. "I thought humans would help, but no one even looked at me." Eli's throat tightened. "That's not surprising. People don't see others when they're hurting." Karen looked at him. "But you did." Suddenly there was a loud knock at the door. Both of them froze. Karen's eyes widened. "No, it's too soon. Who is it?" Eli whispered. She stood shaking. "They found me." Eli went to the window. A black car was parked outside. Two tall men in dark coats stood beside it. Their faces looked empty. "Are they human?" he asked. "No." Karen turned to him. "You have to let me go. If they see you with me, they'll hurt you. I'm not letting them take you. You don't understand. They don't forgive. They don't stop." Eli grabbed a small baseball bat from under his bed. "I don't care. You're not alone anymore." Karen's face changed. For the first time she smiled, a sad but honest smile. "Then we run," she said. Eli nodded. "We run." They moved quickly. Out the back window. Into the cold, dark night. The city lights flickered above them, and behind them the hunt had begun. The night air was sharp and cold as Eli and Karen ran through the back alley. Their footsteps echoed softly between dark walls. Behind them, shadows moved, quiet, fast, and deadly. Eli didn't know where they were going. He only knew one thing. They had to get away. Karen was weak. Her body still glowed faintly, but her steps were slow. She held her side, breathing hard. "We need to stop," she whispered. "No," Eli said, gripping her hand. "Not yet." "Just a little more?" They turned down another alley and reached an old, locked gate. Eli kicked it open. Rust flew off the hinges. They slipped through and entered a dark parking lot behind an empty supermarket. Karen leaned against the wall, her legs shaking. "They're not like humans," she said. "They can smell energy. My energy." Eli looked around. Everything was silent, but it felt wrong, like something was watching. "Who are they?" he asked. Karen's voice was soft. Hunters, sent to erase me. Why erase you? Because I said no. She slid down the wall, her eyes closing. Eli knelt beside her. You can't sleep, he said. We need to move. I just need a few minutes. Suddenly, a sound like metal scraping came from the shadows. Eli stood up fast. We're not alone. A tall figure stepped into the light. He wore a black coat that moved without wind. His eyes glowed red. His skin was pale, too smooth to be human. Give her to me, he said in a flat, cold voice. Eli stepped in front of Karen. No, the man tilted his head. You protect her? She is not your kind. She's not yours either. The man raised his hand. Energy crackled at his fingertips. You'll die for her? Eli gripped the metal pipe he found earlier. If I have to. Before the man could strike, Karen stood. Her voice was sharp and strong. Stop, the man paused. You don't have power anymore. Karen stepped forward. I have enough. She lifted her hand. A sudden blue light burst from her palm, blinding the attacker. He screamed and vanished into the shadows. Karen fell again, her strength gone. Eli caught her. You did it. No, she said weakly. He'll return. With, more. We can't keep running like this, Eli said. We need help. Karen looked up. There is one place. Where? Far from the city, an old human lab. I worked there once. Secretly, it has energy sources. Maybe enough to recharge, Eli nodded. Then that's where we go. By morning, they had stolen an old motorcycle from a junkyard. Eli hotwired it, and Karen held onto him tightly as they sped down the highway. The city faded behind them. Fields, hills, and empty roads stretched ahead. Karen stayed silent for hours. Finally, she spoke. You don't have to do this. I know, Eli said, but I want to. Why? Eli thought for a moment. Because no one ever saved me when I needed it. But you're trying to save everyone. She didn't reply, but she held him tighter. By evening, they reached the edge of the forest. The road ended. Karen pointed toward a rocky hill. There. Eli looked at the ground. There's nothing here. Karen walked forward. Her hands touched the stone. A glowing symbol appeared, and a secret door slid open into the earth. Eli stared in shock. That's amazing. They entered a dark tunnel that led into an underground lab. Lights flickered to life as Karen walked through. The air was thick with dust, but machines still hummed softly. This place, she said, was where I learned about humans. You've been here before? Yes, I wanted to understand your kind. I believed Earth had value, that it deserved to live. Eli looked around. It's peaceful here, for now. Suddenly alarms lit up. A red screen appeared on the wall. Signal detected, 3 pursuers approaching. Eli's heart dropped. They found us again? Karen nodded. They won't stop, not until I'm gone. Eli grabbed a metal rod from the table. Then we fight. Karen placed her hand on a glowing panel. Energy flowed through her arm. Her body shone brighter. Her voice grew stronger. Not just fight, she said. We outsmart them, Eli smiled. Now you're talking, she turned to him. Thank you, Eli. For what? For seeing me, not as a weapon. Not as a monster, but as someone worth saving. Eli looked into her glowing eyes. We save each other now. Outside, the wind howled. The shadows were coming, but this time they were ready. The underground lab was shaking. Dust fell from the ceiling. Alarms screamed like sirens in a war zone. Red lights blinked all around. Eli held a metal rod tightly in his hand. His heart was pounding. Karen stood near a glowing control panel. Light flowed into her arms, into her chest. Her skin glowed brighter. Now, like the sun behind a fog, they're close, she said, her voice calm but sharp. Too close. Eli turned to her. What do we do? Karen didn't answer right away. She pressed her hand against a second panel. A hidden wall slid open. Behind it, a long tunnel stretched into darkness. Follow me, she said. They ran. Inside, as the wall closed behind them, they could already hear footsteps entering the lab. The tunnel was cold and narrow. Small lights lit up the path as Karen moved. The air smelled like metal and old fire. Eli asked, "Where does this lead?" "To a safe room," she said. "One only I know." They reached a heavy steel door. Karen placed her hand on it. Scanner blinked green, and the door opened with a soft hiss. Inside was a small chamber filled with strange machines, screens, and a glowing sphere floating in the air. Eli stepped inside slowly. "What is this place?" Karen looked around. Her face softened. "My secret." She walked toward the floating sphere. Her fingers touched its light, and images appeared in the air: cities, stars, planets, people not from Earth. "I used to come here," she said, "to learn, to think, to dream about peace." Eli watched the images. "That's your world, one of many. But none of them felt like home." "And Earth?" She turned to him. "Earth gave me something I never had before. Choice. You. People are not perfect, but you still choose kindness. You helped me when no one else did." Eli looked down. "I just did what felt right." Karen smiled. "That's why I trust you." Suddenly the sphere glowed red. A warning appeared. Energy signature detected. Time to breach. 3 minutes. Karen touched the sphere again. It showed the hunters moving through the lab, scanning walls, searching. Eli stepped back. "We can't stay." "No," Karen said, "but we don't run either." She walked to a small control desk and pulled out a glowing crystal. "This," she said, "is a memory core. It holds everything I've learned, including something your world needs." Eli took the crystal. It was warm, almost alive. "What's in it?" "A warning," she said. "My people created a weapon, a large one. It's hidden near Earth's orbit. If they don't find me, they might use it anyway." Eli's eyes widened. "They'd destroy Earth?" Karen nodded. "To erase the mistake of mercy." Eli held the crystal tighter. "Then we stop them." A loud sound shook the room. The steel door behind them bent inward. Sparks flew. "They're here," Karen whispered. She turned and opened another hatch on the floor. "This leads to the surface." Eli looked back at the door. "We're really not going to fight. We can't win here," she said. "But we can survive and warn others." As they climbed into the hatch, the door behind them exploded. Bright light filled the room, followed by heavy footsteps. Eli grabbed Karen's hand. "Let's go." They crawled through the tunnel, which led upward through the rocks. It was tight and hard to breathe. But finally, they reached a metal lid. Eli pushed it open. Again. They were in a dry desert. The stars were bright. The air was cold. Karen climbed out, gasping. She looked back. "They'll follow." Eli pointed at a hill. "There, we can hide behind the rocks." They ran again, sand crunching under their feet. When they reached the rocks, they dropped down, breathing hard. Eli looked at the crystal in his hand. "What do we do with this?" Karen looked at the sky. "We find someone who can send it to space. Maybe a satellite operator. Maybe a science base. We tell the truth." "You think they'll believe us?" Karen looked at him. "They'll have to." A soft light appeared in the sky. A ship, not hers, not human. It hovered for a moment, then turned and vanished. "They're watching," she said. "Always." Eli asked, "Why not kill us now?" "They want me to fear, to give up, but you won't." She looked at him. "Not while you're with me." They sat quietly for a moment, hidden under the stars. Then Karen stood. "We can't stop yet. Where to now?" She looked to the horizon, to the humans who still believe in the impossible. And together they walked into the night, 2 souls hunted by shadows, carrying a secret that could save a world. The sun rose slowly over the desert, painting the sand in soft orange light. Eli and Karen sat under a broken wooden sign that once said, "Welcome." The town it pointed to had been gone for years, just dust, wind, and memories now. They hadn't spoken much during the night. Both were tired, both thinking the same thing. What comes next? Karen held the glowing crystal in her hands. It pulsed gently, like a sleeping heart. Inside it, a dangerous truth waited. "This is the only copy," she said quietly. Eli nodded. "Then we better protect it." She looked at him. "No, we better use it." Karen stood and pointed to a small satellite station far in the distance. That place connects to the sky. If we get in, we can send the memory core to someone who listens. You really think someone's up there, watching? Yes, a group of human scientists, watchers. They listen to space signals. They may be the only ones who will believe us. Eli grabbed his bag. Then let's go. It took hours to walk to the satellite station. The building was old, metal and rusted, but still alive. A tall white dish. Turned slowly, scanning the sky. A small sign outside said, Sky Ear Project, listen beyond. They approached the door. It was locked. Karen stepped forward and touched the scanner with her palm. The machine buzzed, then clicked. The door opened. Eli blinked. You hacked it? I helped design their signal reader. They just never knew I wasn't human. Inside, the room was filled with screens and blinking lights. A man in his 60s sat alone, drinking cold coffee. His white hair was wild and his eyes looked tired but curious. He looked up. Can I help you too? Eli hesitated. Karen stepped forward. My name is Karen. I'm not from Earth, but I'm here to protect it. The man laughed once. You high or serious? Karen opened her palm. The crystal floated, spinning in the air. Lights shot out and formed images in the room. Alien planets, warships, and one large weapon orbiting near Earth. The man stood slowly, mouth open. My God. This is not a story, she said. This is real. He stared at the weapon image. That thing is near Earth? Yes, she said. If activated, it can destroy your planet within minutes. The man walked to a control panel. We have a small transmitter. Not strong, but if the message is short. Karen nodded. Then we send the warning, now. Eli stood beside her. What's in the message? Everything, she said. My memories, their plans, the weapons. Location, how to stop it. The scientist helped her connect the crystal to the system. It glowed brighter as the machine came to life. Transmitting now, he said. If someone's listening, they'll get it. Suddenly a loud crash, the sidewall exploded, metal flew. Smoke filled the air, the hunters had arrived. Karen pulled Eli down as energy beams hit the room. The old man screamed and ducked behind the console. One of the hunters stepped through the smoke. His eyes were silver, cold. He raised his arm, ready to strike, but Karen stood tall. I won't run anymore. Her body glowed brighter than before. The air cracked with energy. You failed us, the hunter said. You are broken. No, she replied. I changed. I learned. She raised both hands. A blast of blue light hit the hunter. He flew back, crashing into the wall, but more came. Eli grabbed a pipe from the ground. You said no fighting, Karen smiled. I changed my mind. They fought side by side, Karen using light and power, Eli using speed and instinct. The room shook, sparks flew. Glass shattered. Then Karen's crystal beeped. The message had been sent. She looked at Eli. We did it, but her smile faded. One last hunter aimed a beam directly at her chest. Eli jumped in front of her. The blast hit him hard. He fell to the ground, not moving. No. Karen screamed. She rushed to him. His chest was rising, but slowly. She turned to the hunter, fury in her eyes. You want me? Then take this. She unleashed a wave of pure energy. It threw the hunter out of the building. Silence followed. Karen dropped beside Eli. Her hands glowed as she touched his chest. Please, don't die. His breathing steadied. The old scientist peeked from behind the desk. You two okay? Karen looked up. He needs rest and Earth needs time. The man walked over. Whoever you are, thank you. Karen stood, holding Eli close. This is just the beginning. Outside, the skies remained calm. But above the Earth, someone had heard the message, and someone was coming. The sky turned dark before sunset. Thick clouds moved fast, spinning slowly like a giant wheel above the Earth. Karen stood on the roof of the satellite station, her silver hair blowing in the wind. Her body glowed softly, dimmer than before. She had used too much energy saving Eli. Behind her, Eli lay on a metal bed inside the building, resting. His chest still rose and fell. He was alive but weak. The old scientist, Dr. Lang, stood beside. Karen with a pair of binoculars. He was silent for a long time. Then he spoke in a low voice. "They're coming, aren't they?" Karen didn't look at him. Her eyes stayed on the clouds. "They are already here?" A deep sound rumbled across the sky. Not thunder, something else, heavy, mechanical, alive, got above them. The clouds split. A massive ship slowly appeared, hiding the stars. It was shaped like a circle, wide as a city. Lights glowed along its edge. The center spun quietly, like the eye of a storm. Karen didn't move. "That is the judgment vessel." Dr. Lang took a step back. "They're not just here for you, are they?" "No," Karen said. "They came for Earth." Suddenly, loudspeakers from the ship crackled. A voice spoke in a language no human had heard before. Smooth, cold, perfect. Karen understood every word. "You were warned. You betrayed us. Earth will fall." She turned and walked back inside. Eli opened his eyes as she entered. "They're here, right?" he asked, voice weak. She nodded. "A command ship." "The final one." Eli sat up slowly, holding his side. "Then we finish this." Karen helped him stand. "We don't have power. No weapons. We can't fight that ship." Eli looked at the glowing memory crystal still in her pocket. "But someone got the message." Karen nodded. "Yes, and if they respond, they'll come." Outside, a beam of light shot down from the sky. It hit the center of the nearby town, vaporizing buildings. Fire rose into the air. Dr. Lang shouted, "We need to leave." "They'll destroy everything." "No," Karen said calmly. "We stand here. If I run again, it ends the same." She reached into her suit and pulled out a small silver chip. "This is all I have left," she said. "A failsafe. It can send one strong signal, but I need time to charge it." "How much time?" Eli asked. 5 minutes. "Then you'll get 6. Eli grabbed his metal rod and walked outside. Karen knelt on the floor, placing the chip on the ground. Her hands glowed blue as she focused all her energy into the device. Outside, the hunters dropped from the ship one by one. Tall, silent, and ready. Eli stood in front of the building, alone. Dust blew around his feet. One hunter stepped forward. "You are only human. Move aside." Eli shook his head. "No." The hunter raised his arm but stopped. Something had changed. Behind Eli, a small ship entered the sky, then another. Then 5 more. Karen opened her eyes and smiled. "They heard me." The new ships were smaller, faster, human-made, but carrying alien designs. The message had worked. A hidden group of Earth's protectors had responded. Scientists, ex-military, and watchers who had always believed they were not alone. A voice came through the radio. "To the alien vessel, leave Earth or face resistance." The judgment vessel gave no answer. It powered up. Karen stood now, weak but standing. "I have to face them." Eli held her arm. "Not alone?" Together, they stepped outside as the sky lit up with battle. Fighter ships flew across the clouds, firing energy beams. The alien ship returned fire, shaking the Earth below. One beam hit the satellite tower. It exploded behind them. Karen screamed, "No!" She ran into the fire, pulled the fail-safe chip from the flames. "It still worked, but barely. I need to get this inside the ship," she said. Eli stared at the sky. "Then we get you inside." He turned to Dr. Lang. "Call the human ships. Tell them to open a path." The scientist nodded and rushed to the radio. Minutes later, Karen and Eli rode in one of the small human jets. They flew fast, dodging beams and fire. The sky was chaos. As they neared the judgment vessel, Karen looked down. "Why are you still?" "With me?" she asked. Eli smiled, tired but sure. "Because this is our planet now, yours and mine." She placed her hand over his. The ship opened. They flew into the enemy, and Karen, once abandoned, once hunted, was no longer running. She was going home to finish what she started. Inside the alien ship, everything was silent. No alarms. No guards. Just cold steel and soft blue light that pulsed like a slow heartbeat. Eli walked beside Karen, his steps quiet but steady. Her hand gripped the small fail-safe chip tightly. Her body was weak, light fading, but her eyes were strong. "We're deep inside," Eli whispered. Karen nodded. "The control core is close." As they turned a corner, a tall figure appeared, one of the high guards. His silver armor glowed. His eyes looked at Karen without hate, but without mercy. "You should not be here," he said. Karen stepped forward. "This is not your world. Leave it." "You gave up your right to command," he said. "You betrayed your kind." She didn't flinch. "I chose life." The guard raised his arm but paused. Behind Karen stood Eli, unafraid, holding nothing but a metal pipe. The guard looked at them both, then slowly lowered his hand. "Go," he said, "before I change my mind." Karen bowed her head slightly. "Thank you." They ran forward, deeper into the ship's heart. The control core was a huge room. In the center floated a dark sphere, spinning slowly. Lights ran through it like rivers of fire. This sphere was the brain of the ship, the thing that connected to the weapon in orbit. Karen fell to her knees, coughing. Her energy was almost gone. Eli caught her. "We're here. You can do this." She handed him the chip. "Place it in that slot," she said, pointing to a small opening near the sphere. Eli ran to it. His hands shook, but he pushed the chip. The sphere stopped spinning. A soft voice echoed. "Override command received. Power drain initiated." Karen smiled weakly. "We did it." But then sirens. A red light filled the room. Self-destruct activated. Intruder detected. Eli's heart raced. "What's happening?" Karen stood, barely. "They'd rather destroy the ship than lose it." "Then let's get out of here." They turned and ran. Lights flickered. The walls shook. The ship was dying. As they reached the hangar bay, a human rescue ship hovered outside, waiting. Its doors were open. Eli helped Karen into the ship. The pilot, a woman in uniform, looked at them with wide eyes. "You made it," she said. "Get us out." Eli shouted. The ship turned and blasted away. Behind them, the alien vessel exploded in the sky, silent but powerful. A flash of light filled the clouds. Then it was gone. 2 days later, Eli sat on a hill near a quiet lake. Birds flew above and children played far below. The world had returned to peace, at least for now. Karen walked up beside him. She wore simple human clothes, now jeans, a soft gray sweater, no more glowing suit. "No more weapons. You look human," Eli said, smiling. "I'm learning," she replied. He looked at her face. "Do you miss your world?" She was quiet for a moment, then said, "Not anymore. I have a place here. I have people." "People like me?" Karen looked at him. "Especially like you." Eli laughed softly. "I never thought helping a stranger in an alley would lead to this." "You didn't help a stranger," she said. "You saved a life." They sat in silence for a while. The sun was warm. The wind was soft, then a sound behind them, a soft, shaky voice. "Hello?" They turned. A child stood there, small, maybe 7. Her skin was pale like Karen's, but her hair was short, and her eyes glowed a soft pink. She looked lost, scared. Karen stood. "It's okay," she said gently. "You're safe." The girl stepped forward slowly. "They left me. They said I wasn't strong enough." Karen's eyes filled with tears. She knelt and opened her arms. "You're not alone anymore." The girl ran into her hug, holding her tight. Eli watched. "Heart full. That makes 3 of us now," he said. Karen looked back at him and smiled. "Maybe more will come. Will they all be like you?" She laughed. "Some better." He looked at the sky. "You think Earth is ready?" Karen followed his gaze. "Not yet, but it will be." "We'll help it grow?" The child looked up at her. "Are you my new family?" Karen nodded. "Yes, if you want me to be, I do." Eli stood and joined them. "Guess we're a team now." Karen looked at them both, the man who saved her and the child she now saved. She had run from her people, been thrown away, hunted, hurt. But now she was not alone. And in this quiet moment on a peaceful hill, a new story began, not of war, not of fear, but of hope.